Hey everyone, and welcome back to the virtual world of Harvest Time here in Gamedec. We are at the moment trying to solve the case of the orange folk. Our overall objective is to find out what is the main problem of these people, our clients, the people that hired us to figure out what on earth is going on. I am going to admit that with all of these, the case so far has me a bit stumped, but that's also sort of operating out of the assumption that only one of these is correct. I know I touched on this subject on the previous case as well, that might not necessarily be the case, especially here in the beginning. There could be several ways to get to the end and actually solve the case. It might not mean that everything we assume is correct. It might actually not even mean that any of these are particularly wrong. It could just be that there are different ways to get to the end answer here and solve it. So, with what we know so far, we have some accelerated couches. The software side of my employer's helmets increase the speed of virtual time in the wearer's immediate surroundings. That makes their users able to harvest many times faster, increasing the chance of gaining loot boxes. We have some accidents in harvest time. Lately, there have been accidents reported. People faint and are locked off. We have an origin, low city slums. All the workers come from the slums of low city. Everyone has similar symptoms: memory problems, loss of spatial awareness, slurred speech, weakness, physical ailments. Everyone has the same symptoms. And then we have meds and stimulants. My employers are heavy med and stimulant users. And we have Big Brother. One of the workers is clearly overseeing the work of the others, keeping tabs on who they are talking with. I think with all of these, you could draw conclusions that, at least, I would say we could draw the conclusion that someone else is pulling the strings. We could draw the conclusion that they are forced to collect loot boxes. And we could draw the conclusion that they abuse pharmaceutical substances, either willingly or unwillingly. With all of these, to be honest, willingly or unwillingly. The only one that is really not really jumping out at me as is this one. I don't believe they're addicted to the game, but who knows? Maybe it's all really just a facade, and they
Enjoying the game?
are actually here on their own free volition. Find it hard to believe, but it sounds like it's a job for them, but it doesn't sound like it's a particularly pleasant job. Now, I did want to grab or do a quick round here to see if anyone have anything else to say. I don't think it's gonna be the case, but you never know. Gonna start off here with the Rusty Ed. An older man was sitting on a barrel scanning the area. Oh yeah, by the way, I was made aware that the text seemed a bit small
Nice day,
to read and follow along. I upped it by 25%. Hopefully that's gonna make a difference. Do let me know if you think this is much better, or if it's still an issue. Then I'll just up it further. Long beard, dust on his shoulders. He looked like he'd been gathering that dust for a decade. Okay, say hello. Hello, I'm a Gamedec and I'm the guildmaster of Rusty Ed's guild. Huh, just a fun fact. You want to ask an old timer about farming tricks? Go ahead. Rusty Ed has a lot of stories up his sleeve. Okay, let's ask about the guild, I suppose. Are you the guildmaster of Rusty Ed's guild? Well, he just told us that. I am. It's a guild open to all players of adequate level. What level do I need to be at? In order to join Rusty Ed's guild, you need to listen to 3 daily stories. 3 daily stories, okay.
you want to join the gang for the Pumpkin King raid?
Sure, Pumpkin King raid. I guess we can ask, but I don't think he's gonna admit us just yet. Could you admit me into your guild? Yes, I can, if you listen to 3 of my stories. That's the rule of Rusty Ed's guild. Okay, so I guess tell him we need to do this a couple of times, then we might be let in. Ask him what he does in the game. What are you doing here, Gramps? Ah, so there are still curious people in the world. I mean, people that possess the virtue of curiosity. I'll tell you. I look at those young players and I can see they don't know a thing. And you know what they do about it? They probably do nothing. I guess nothing. Exactly. They don't ask the elders. They don't look for the so-called know-how. They think they know it all. I've played this game for years. I've achieved everything. I know everything, and no one asks me a goddamn thing. I see them growing carrots, and I know they'd grow faster with a barrel of ice beside them. But does anyone ask? No. You know why? Just gonna listen. You tell me, Ed. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Rookies overrate their knowledge. Mentors undersell theirs.
So much to do.
But the world is changing too, especially this game. It all used to be more true to life, more difficult, and these scallywag youngsters would get the bum's rush. But I digress, and I bet you there's something you want to talk to me about, isn't there? Maybe you want to hear a story. Let's talk about the weather first. Lovely weather, isn't it? Oh, yes it is. But that's not how it used to be. Changing seasons, rain, storms, now it's just sun all the time. That's what the players wanted. They were fed up with the rain. Fancy that, I could tell you lots of stories. Let's hear one of them. Tell me a story. I've got 3 stories today. The topics are a legendary artifact, how I became sheriff, and the old game systems. Which one do you want to hear? Well, I guess we'll just take them from the top. So let's ask about the legendary artifact. Tell me the legend of this artifact. All right. It was about a decade ago. An event was announced that would last all year. A year. It was said that one of the loot boxes would contain a legend of harvest time, the artifact jewel. I can still remember it. It was a house in the game. House of happiness. It was covered in flowers. It boosted the joy neurotransmitters of whoever was in it. You know, I have a feeling here that he might be the one. You know what? He might be one to enjoy an actual discussion. So let's go ahead and say that it could be dangerous. That sort of software can cause an addiction. Did they warn anyone about it? I don't know much about it, but let me tell you one thing. A lot more was allowed in games back then compared to today. So there was this player, Ted Godiva, who sold his apartment, everything he had, to improve his chances. He spent a lot of money on boosts. That's how he got that treasure. That house is still hovering somewhere in the game, in Elysium. He settled there. He settled here in Harvest Time. He became a Zeawen. He only had enough money to keep his brain alive for a few months. Even while he was dying, he kept smiling. Okay, let's make a comment on the Zeawenets. I've read a report on Zeawenets. He'd need lots of money to stay alive for years, and not just to keep a nutrium. An organic brain gets older. Someone would have to keep providing him Everbrain, a regenerative enzyme. Maintaining a nutrient liquids the enzyme. It costs a fortune. Okay, now that you've listened to my story, I can answer your questions. I don't think there is any... Ooh, okay, we actually could. Okay, let's ask about the orange folk. Do you know anything about the orange farmers? Yeah, I've seen them. I've heard them. They act like bots or like idiots on NPCs. Or NPCs. Ooh, a new crew. Hello there. They play using freemium accounts and they talk weird. There's no point mingling with them. Ed yawned. Forgive an old man. I've talked myself out. I need a nap. But I thought you had stories. The old man was napping on a barrel. Check the player's activity. I opened my deck and checked if the player was active. Yes, he was in the game and he was sleeping soundly. Let's leave him alone. Let's check the crew. Did we really get the last clue? Interesting. They are players with premium accounts. All of the orange folk use free and anonymous freemium accounts. That doesn't necessarily tell us too much new information, I feel. Other than what, once again, it points to one of these two, but doesn't necessarily rule out this one here.
What?
that they are. Oh, well, he's really sleeping. Okay, I don't think there's much left for us here. We're not gonna be buying any fruits. Rudy Hilda as well. The girl smiled when she saw me. Hello, what a nice day. Let's try and ask about the orange farmers in either case. Do you know anything about the orange farmers? Only that they trade stuff with Betty. She might know more. She's a talker. You know, I overheard that some players address her in a particular way. They lean over and say,
Hey, you want to join the
show
gang
me your
for the Pumpkin
wares.
King raid?
Very emphatically. I think it's some kind of password. Let's ask about Stanley. I'm looking for a player named Stanley. Do you know him? Well, her stand is next to mine, but I don't think her business is limited to selling fruit. Her. Okay, pretty sure Stanley's a dude. What are you selling? Nothing at the moment. My trade channel is closed. I'm getting ready to take on the town profession of a merchant. Currently, I'm practicing slogans.
All right. Friends, partner.
Enjoy the game. Sure. Let's
Come, everything's for sale.
say the secret password. Show me your wares. Betty winked at me knowingly. I have a firearm for 5,000 coins. Interested? Well, thanks, but I can't afford that. We don't really have the money. Okay, so she sells guns as well. That doesn't tell us too much, though. Okay. I think it's probably time to make a deduction here. So I need... Oh, hello, what's this? Jumping down this well was certain death. I was sure to end up in the graveyard. Okay, so let's not jump down the well. Hello. The man was leaning lazily against a headstone and stroking his belly. Good morning. Nice days, isn't it?
Yeehaw! You're attempting to interact with an inactive player.
Okay, so the system message is saying you attempted to interact with the town profession Gravedigger. It is currently held by an inactive player. Player Gravedigger Hank is unavailable. Do you wish to report them for inactivity? Nah, that's fine. No report. We wish a successful harvest. Okay, no reason to report. Okay. I mean... I think we can go all three ways here, but if we have to read the main problem of the clients, the main problem is not necessarily that they're fainting and passing out, that they're abused to pharmaceuticals. That's one of the symptoms of the main problem, I feel, which leads me to someone else is pulling the strings. Someone is clearly watching over them. Someone is driving them into working harder. We saw it when we talked to Stanley as well, that his boss found out he wasn't exactly where he was supposed to be, and that was apparently a problem. So what was his name? Aki? Either him or maybe even someone above him. I think I'm leaning towards someone else is pulling the strings, but I think that those someone are forcing them to collect the loot boxes, and they are forcing them to abuse pharmaceutical substances. That's my conclusion so far. So let's go ahead and just pull the trigger here. Someone else is pulling the strings. The suspects. Okay. We have absolutely nothing left. We haven't... Yeah, okay. Let's see what it says. Tell Stanley what you've deducted. Okay, but where is Stanley? Is he back at his farm now? Don't think so. Just real quick, this... Oh, you can't even talk to them anymore. Okay. That's Bessie. No, you don't want to talk. She blocked off. They blocked us, of course. Jack, still nothing. Nope.
Please don't interrupt their work.
Every time I find a moment to breathe some fresh air, a stray comes along and ruins the smell. Oppose him. Cheater, knock him out. Okay, no, let's not quite yet do something that we might regret later on. I think this is Stanley's farm. He's clearly not there, so maybe he's back at the where it was. This was Guy. You don't have anything else? No. Okay, I thought I was stuck there. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can find out where that chef was, how we get back to that place. Hello.
Howdy.
Ah, the guild house. This is the guild house. Access is for guild members only. You can meet experienced players here and discuss farming techniques. You can visit as soon as you have more harvest time under your belt. I'm going back to your farm. I'll be waiting for you there anxiously. Okay, right. It was up here. Yep, let's climb the ladder. Let's see if he's back. This is not Stanley, right? This is an observer.
Do you have anything for me?
Ah, still not right. He was observing the birds, right? Let's ask him about the orange folk. Do you know anything about the so-called orange folk? Any information could help. Well, in that case, you're in the right place. I know almost everything there's to know about them. Really? I'm all ears then. Let's start with the robin, one of my favorite species with orange plumage. Ah, okay. They were introduced to the game with the European Immigrants update, which was quite a surprise for me. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was talking about the farmers from the Orange Dream Guild. Oh, them. In that case, I can't help you. Alright, fair enough. Right, it was right here. We need to... Yump. Oh no, Stanley is back here, but hopefully he is somewhere. Can we at least leave if we want to? Doesn't look like it. Oh, here we go.
Howdy.
Something, anyway.
I can see you've wandered off the trail.
It's the sheriff. I'm the sheriff in this town. Not many players know about this place, especially newcomers. What brings you here? Wild West, sheriff. It all added up. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we can be honest with him, or... Okay. 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 Well, we don't really know anything about the sheriff, but I mean... No one says that he couldn't be the bad guy behind it all, but we are a trusting person, so we're gonna be honest with this guy. We're gonna hope that the law will be on our side here. Let's admit that we're looking for Stanley. I'm looking for a friend. His name is Stanley. Yes, Stanley was here, but he had to leave the game. He asked me to talk to you on his behalf, if you don't mind, of course. But before I do, allow me to proceed with the formalities. He straightened up and cleared his throat. As the sheriff of High Rock, I'd like to officially welcome you to our community. I'm here to help beginners and uphold the law. The game's rules, that is. Welcome, Rancher. Well, we are gonna greet him as the good new player that we are. I reached out my hand. The sheriff looked me in the eyes, smiled, and shook my hand. Not only will I answer all of your questions, but you'll receive something else. A welcome package and a pouch of coins for your farm. Cool, ain't it? Let's go down to the saloon and talk over a drink. What do you say? You know what? Let's go ahead. I'm sure maybe we can get some... maybe we can get his... what's it called? The conversation going over a bit of a drink. Alright. Let's go. I might have a job for you that will get you something more than gold coins. Gamedec. Well, he knows. Not really surprising. Let's take a walk. Hank, it's good to see you. How long until you're done? Ah, see. He's still here. I just logged in. 6 weeks left. A good thing we didn't report him, I guess. Pretzel is all better now. Aw. Well, he seems like a decent guy, I guess. Howdy, Ben. How's that achievement going? You got it? Howdy, Sheriff. I'm about to crack the physics behind these bundles. Today's the day. It has to be. What is this achievement? What's this achievement you're working on? The Great Pyramid of Bundles. I'll be the first player to get it. Alright. Good luck, my friend. They vandalized Mr. Adams again. There's the saloon. You're blocked from accessing it, but we'll fix that little problem promptly. The sheriff typed a few commands into the game's interface. I saw that I now had access to the saloon. Be my guest. Let's express some admiration. Not a bad trick. Oh, it's one of the privileges of being sheriff. I can grant access to the saloon to anyone I want. Okay, let's not accuse him of cheating quite yet. Even a piano, nice. Okay, well, we got him a bit further towards the trusting. That's nice. First, let me ask you this. What's your poison? Whiskey? Sure. He's probably gonna give me on his good side. Let's, I'll have some whiskey. Bottoms up then. To the meeting. I'm telling you, friend, this stuff may be digital, but it tastes like the real thing. It's phenomenal. There we go. We already unlocked it. Okay. Where would you like to begin? Okay. Don't think we care too much about the welcome package right now, so let's ask about Stanley. We could probably even go for the distrustful one right now, but let's not be a dick to him. First thing, you offered to do Stanley a favor when we were in the graveyard. Stanley was waiting for you, but he had to log out of the game. You can talk to me if you want. Why did he log out of the game? He wasn't feeling well. It happens sometimes. You had information for him on some issue concerning the Orange folk. Is that correct? Let's inquire about them first. Before we get to that, can you tell me anything about the Orange Dream farmers? What is there to say? They are farmers from a public farm. I was informed they are the reason you're in harvest time. Stanley is one of them. He mentioned they have a problem. I'm a bit surprised they didn't ask for my help. Well, they're kids playing on premiums to pass the time, just for the hell of it. They have no ambition to own a farm. Okay. Let's ask whether the Orange folk are children. Are the Orange folk really children? Didn't you know that? Yeah, they're kids. That's why I can't figure out why they would hire a Gamedec. Let's ask him why he thinks I'm a Gamedec. What makes you think that I'm a Gamedec? Word travels fast. It's quite extraordinary having a Gamedec in High Rock. People get, you know, excited. They're curious why the Orange folk hired you. Hell, I'm curious myself, but I respect that your investigation might require secrecy. On the other hand, I could help you. I know everyone here, you see. Okay. Let's, who told him? Who did you get this information from? Let's say someone noticed a new guy hanging around the public farm asking questions. They texted me, I launched the game, and here we are. Now that there's a Gamedec in my town, I'd love to offer him a job. If he's interested, that is. Sure. Can you tell me a bit more? Listen, I have a feeling our goals overlap. High Rock has a problem with a certain player, the Outlaw. I've been informed that they might be involved in prohibited activities. I reported it to the admins, but the Outlaw keeps coming back with new accounts. I need solid proof to ban them from this world for good. I know you are running an investigation. I think it's connected to the Outlaw. Would you share your observations? We could work together. You know what? I have a feeling that this guy is actually could be a good guy to have on our side. So we're gonna go ahead and tell the truth. Of course, I don't see why this should remain a secret, but he could also be the Outlaw. Who knows? I was hired by the farmers from Orange Dream. They have a problem with gameplay stability. They keep getting disconnected. Came to the conclusion that they're cheating. The game recognizes that and disconnects them. The man nodded in understanding. Do you think that somebody distributes these cheats among the players? I gotta say again, yes. It does sound like they're cheating, but... yeah, it's... Maybe these answers are based on what we deducted, but because... yeah, it's difficult for me to agree that they're getting kicked because they're cheating. It's not as simple as that, I feel, with all the side effects. It's not as simple as that, but who knows? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Some clever guy. I think so. Do you think that somebody distributes these cheats among the players? I think so. Yes. It's possible, Sheriff. I'm almost certain that the outlaw is responsible for the orange folks' problems. I've suspected for a while that they are a fraud who sells illegal exploits in harvest time. These kinds of machinations not only hurt the game's economy, but can also disrupt the players' gear and put their health at risk. Ah, well, there we go. That's the explanation then. If you agree to work with me, I'll tell you my plan to catch the outlaw. You'd play a central role in it. You know what? Sure. In the last case, we refused help. To which my wife said that was a big mistake on my part. She really enjoyed his character. So I think this time let's accept the job. Let's get some help from the sheriff. You've convinced me, Sheriff. I'll work for you. He offered what I usually charged for searching for someone in Virtualia. I nodded, then realized he hadn't told me what the job actually was. We shook hands. You never signed contracts in my line of work. Alright, let's cut to the chase. First of all, I need you to confirm the outlaw's location. When you do that, find out whether they work alone or have accomplices. Then we'll meet and draw up a detailed plan. Okay. Sure, let's ask if I can get a badge. You give me a deputy star. The sheriff burst out laughing. I don't have one on me, but since you care about it so much, I'll try to get one for you. Thanks, Sheriff. I mean, we can't run around playing sheriff without having a sheriff star, can we? Okay, let's ask what he actually expects of us. What is it exactly that you want me to do? Confirm whether or not that thug is still in their hideout, the guild house. A sheriff can't belong to guilds or enter their houses. Dumb, I know, but rules are rules. Just find out if the outlaw works alone or not. Okay. But let's ask what he's going to do. What are you going to do in the meantime, Sheriff? I'm going to collect evidence against the outlaw and inform the admins about our plans. I also have some real-life obligations. Let's ask about the outlaw. What do you know about him? Or her? I'm sure this player uses many different accounts and characters. Recently, they've been known as the Outlaw. They were in some shady business with Black Rook, a known hacker and fraud who had been permabanned from the game. Rook did a lot of nasty stuff. He once hacked our banker, Mr. Adams, and gave him an insulting name. The next update should finally fix it. Okay, we're not gonna ask about our pay. He offered our standard rate, it seems, so we're gonna go ahead and begin the investigation. That's all for now. I'll get to work. Wait for me in the saloon after you've found all the answers. I'll be there at nightfall and we'll think up a plan. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me give you the welcome package. The sheriff made several gestures and opened the game's options. Welcome to Harvest Time. Please accept this humble gift. Yeehaw, you've received 3 mystery gifts. Can't wait to open them for you. Come to the ranch. You've received a gift of 500 coins. You can use it to buy wonderful items, for example, from me. Let's meet up. Okay, let's thank him for the gift. Thanks, Sheriff. That's a nice gesture. Pleasure's all mine, friend. It's time for me to go too. It's time for me to go. I have things to do in Brillium. I still had an obligation towards Stanley. I had to understand the orange folks' problem. I wish you good luck. He extended his hand towards me, and of course we are gonna shake it. See you later, Sheriff. We'll meet at nightfall, Gamedec. Sheriff Billy tapped the brim of his hat and left the game. One of the women upstairs beckoned me to and pointed at the stairs that ran along the saloon's outer wall. My name is Leanne. We could help each other. Let's meet behind the saloon. Okay. That woman, Leanne, must have been listening in on our conversation. She wanted to meet me outside the saloon. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Do the job for the sheriff, identify who's responsible for the orange folk problems, and go to a meeting at the back of the saloon. What did we actually get here? Okay, I was sure that 2 of these were gonna be who's the outlaw, as one of them is, and if he's working alone. Okay, we don't have anything here yet at all. We do have shady business. The outlaw was doing some shady business with a player of such horrible repute that they were banned in harvest time. Okay. And that, I think, is a decent place to call it for this episode. Difficult to know still if we made the right choice, but as I said, I honestly firmly believe that you don't necessarily have only one correct answer here. Otherwise, we are doing pretty well so far, since that would mean we haven't guessed wrong still. And yeah, I still think there's several ways to get to the end here. And next time we are gonna go and see what Leanne actually wants, and then we need access to the guild house, which is probably Rusty Ed that we need to talk to. We need to listen to his story, so maybe we do need to go wake him up. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and to see you for the next one. Until then, take care.